Let's connect with Dr. C.K. Narayan and Kunal Bothra. They're our chartists and they're going to guide us with their views on the market in levels as well as top stocks to watch out for. Dr. Narayan, hi there. Good morning. What's the sense that you're getting when it comes to mid-caps? Jayesh as well was talking about some resistance levels, and I believe you've got two buy recommendations this morning.
Good morning, Avan. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, the SGX is showing that it might be a slightly better start to the day. Now, yesterday we saw the markets finishing better. Now, one may have attributed to that to the weekly expiry, but then if you do show follow-through price action on the next day, then one would have to take it that there has been some amount of buying also, or there is some clear intent to buy into the market if it opens today. So we had a pretty decent breadth situation yesterday with a lot of sector rotation going on even on an intraday basis, and lots of sectors which are index heavy, including FMCG leaders, including IT leaders. These were up and about. Towards the end of the day, the banking pack also picked up and metals were seen shining. Pharma selectively was good. So the point here is that there are enough stocks and sectors to contribute to a continued rise in the Nifty if the bulls were up to the challenge, but they would definitely have to step up to the plate first for doing this. So I think a good start in the morning. About SGX is showing about 0.7% up already. So if we start the day somewhere around that, I think then the cause for the bulls or the pathway for the bulls will be a lot more easier. Now, given that as a background, I have two buy recommendations. First is on a pharma leader, Dr. Reddy. I think price action in Dr. Reddy across all the time frame charts, intraday, daily, weekly, looks extremely positive, and the stock is now on its way to punching up new all-time highs. So at the current levels, I would recommend a buy, a stop at 4100 and a target which I would pitch minimum at about 4300 for today, tomorrow. The second stock is from the metals pack, and my favorite high momentum stock from that pack is always Jindal Steel and Power. I think that did very, very well indeed yesterday. So with a nearby stop at about 173, I would want to be a buyer in Jindal Steel and Power, looking for a target around 184, 185.
Okay, keep in mind some of those recommendations, Dr. Reddy's as well as Jindal Steel. Moving on then to Kunal Bothra, and Kunal, the SGX Nifty indicating a healthy start. What are you betting on by way of levels? And share with us some of your interesting stock recommendations as well.
So good morning, Avan. Good morning, everyone. I think the start of the SGX Nifty indicates that the markets would continue to remain buoyant from where we left yesterday. I think yesterday was a very good day for the markets, not just in terms of the price performance, but I think more in terms of the outperformance with the rest of the global peers. And I think that was one of the standout features of the market rally yesterday. And there was also one more important takeaway for the markets yesterday was, I believe, in the last hour or so, last hour, hour and a half, I think was the resurgence of Bank Nifty. And I think that's a standout feature. So if the Bank Nifty manages to show some sense of strength yet again, there could be a round of short covering which would happen in the private sector banks. So I think that's going to be one important factor to watch out for the rest of the day and probably for the coming week as well. Now I would suggest two buy calls on the stocks, and the first one is a buy apparently on Hindustan Unilever. I think it's a breakout in terms of the daily charts. The stock has been consolidating. It was trading with a pattern of higher highs and higher lows. I think after yesterday's price tick, it indicates that there's been a volume price breakout just around the 2280 mark on the spot levels for HUL. So it could be an interesting chart in the making, the near term as well. Buy with a positional target of 2400, stop us to be kept at 2225. The second would be a buy on BEL. Now the stock apparently in the last 4-5 days has been correcting. So I think from 102, 103 levels, with the stock had tested, it's come back to 94 kind of levels. But there's been good volume accumulation at those 94 levels. Yesterday the stock had seen. The indicators on the hourly chart have come back into an oversold territory. The price has come back to a support level of 94, 93 and a half. So I think on all of those fronts, I believe it could be a good contrarian bet to buy BEL at current levels because of the risk reward as well. Buy with a near-term target of 100 and stop loss to be kept at 92.